Eli had always been different from other children on his home planet Earth. While most kids played games, built forts, or stared at the clouds, Eli stared at the stars. Not just the stars, but the stories they carried, the possibilities they held. He had read every book about space exploration, aliens, and distant planets, and he always wondered what lay beyond human imagination. Now at 13, Eli's chance had come. He was aboard the starship Lumina, a small research vessel assigned to explore uncharted sectors of the galaxy. The crew was cautious, serious, and more concerned about safety than discovery. They had heard tales of a planet ruled by the legendary alien queen, a being so powerful that entire civilizations avoided her domain. Ships vanished, messages went unanswered, and rumors whispered that even the bravest soldiers feared stepping foot on her planet. Known as the Shimmering Throne, the crew, composed of scientists, engineers, and navigators, were tense as they approached the glowing planet. Its atmosphere shimmered with colors they had never seen, purples, greens, and blues that danced like living flames across the sky. Eli pressed his face against the viewing glass, mesmerized. "Look at it," he whispered almost to himself. "It's beautiful, beautiful," said Commander Rylan, the ship's captain, a tall woman with short silver hair. "It's dangerous. Entire fleets have turned back at the edge of its orbit. That's why no one dares approach." "But why?" Eli asked, genuinely curious. "What makes this planet so untouchable?" Commander Rylan sighed. "Stories mostly. The alien queen who rules there is unlike anything we've encountered. She can control minds, manipulate matter, and detect threats before they happen. She has defeated invaders with minimal effort. Everyone who has tried to communicate has failed." Eli's eyes sparkled. "But maybe no one tried the right way. Maybe she isn't what they think she is." The commander shook her head. "You humans always think you're braver than you really are." Eli smiled. He didn't feel afraid. Fear, he had realized, often came from imagination, not reality. And if he could just understand her, perhaps even communicate. Maybe, just maybe, he could prove that humans had something the galaxy's strongest beings had not yet seen. Curiosity and courage without fear. As the Lumina entered the planet's orbit, alarms began to beep softly. The ship's sensors detected massive energy fields surrounding the surface, barriers that shimmered like liquid light. Lightning-like arcs danced across the barriers, and a faint hum resonated through the ship, vibrating in the bones of everyone aboard. "This is it," said Dr. Alara, the ship's science officer. "The energy readings are off the charts. It's alive somehow. Whatever is here isn't just a ruler, it's a force." The crew murmured nervously. Eli, meanwhile, leaned closer to the window. His heartbeat was steady, calm. He could feel the pull of the planet, as if it were calling him personally. "Everyone," Commander Rylan said firmly, "we are here for observation. No one is to exit the ship without authorization." Eli's fingers tightened on the edge of the glass. He wanted to ask, what if she isn't hostile? What if she's just misunderstood? But the words remained unspoken. He needed to see for himself. The ship descended slowly, guided toward a landing platform that appeared from the shimmering energy like it had always been there. The platform was enormous, circular, and suspended above a liquid-like surface that reflected the swirling skies above. As the Lumina landed, the energy field seemed to pulse almost like a heartbeat, as though the planet itself were aware of their presence. The crew was tense. No one moved. Even Commander Rylan, usually calm under pressure, stared at the surface as if it were a living being. Then, the air around the landing site shimmered and parted. A figure emerged. Eli saw her first. The alien queen. She was taller than any human, taller even than the ship itself if she had stood fully upright. Her skin shimmered with multiple shades like polished gemstones catching the light. Her eyes, 6 of them, arranged symmetrically across her face, glowed softly, each a different color. Her hands were delicate, almost elegant, but each finger ended in a crystal-like tip that seemed capable of slicing through steel. The crew froze. None of them moved a muscle. Some of them whispered prayers to gods they didn't usually believe in, but Eli stepped forward. He didn't know why he moved. Something deep inside him whispered, "You must go. You must speak. Wait," Commander Rylan said, reaching out. "Eli, stop. It's too dangerous." But Eli ignored her. Every fiber of his being pulled him closer. The Queen's eyes turned toward him, and he felt seen, not judged, not threatened, just observed. You approach what no one dares, a voice echoed. Not through sound, but through thought. Eli could hear it inside his own mind. It was gentle, curious, and powerful. Why does a human dare what all others fear? Eli swallowed. He could feel the power radiating from her like standing near a star. And yet he felt no fear. Only wonder. I want to understand, he said aloud. I want to know why you are the way you are. I want to learn. I want to talk. The Queen's 6 eyes blinked in unison. A hum of energy flowed through the platform. Curious, courageous, foolish, yet unafraid. Few approach me with such intent. Tell me, human, why should I allow you to stand here? Eli paused. He thought of all the books he had read, all the stories of humans being underestimated in the galaxy. Because, he said finally, sometimes the smallest, weakest, or youngest creatures can teach the strongest ones something new. I want to learn from you, and maybe you can learn from me too. The Queen tilted her head. You speak with honesty, boldness, a trait rare in your species, yet words alone do not prove worth. Suddenly, the ground beneath Eli vibrated. Energy arcs flickered closer to the platform. He felt a tingle run up his spine. The Queen raised her hands, and in a display of power unlike anything Eli had ever imagined, she summoned a series of illusions. Massive shadowy creatures appeared, towering over him. Ships exploded in the distance. The stars themselves seemed to twist and warp. Eli's heart raced. Yet he did not flinch. Instead, he looked at the illusions, studied them, and realized they were tests, tricks meant to intimidate. Using quick thinking, he sidestepped, observed patterns, and moved in ways that the illusions did not anticipate. The Queen's voice echoed again in his mind. Impressive. Few can maintain composure in the presence of fear itself. You walk forward while others flee. Why? Eli took a deep breath. Because fear can stop people from seeing truth. And I want to see the truth. For a long moment, silence reigned. Then, as if acknowledging his bravery, the Queen's energy shifted. The illusions vanished, replaced by a calm, glowing field. The Queen stepped closer, her eyes studying him in depth. You are unlike others, she said finally. Perhaps this is why you are allowed to approach. Few have courage without arrogance, curiosity without disrespect. You may stand here, human boy, for now. Eli's chest swelled with relief and awe. He couldn't speak for a moment. All he could do was look at her and take in the sheer beauty and power of her presence. Then the Queen spoke again. Tomorrow you will face trials. Wisdom, bravery, and understanding are needed to continue. Fail and your species may not gain favor, succeed, and perhaps you may open a new chapter between your kind and mine. Eli nodded. I will try my best. The Queen's eyes softened and she stepped back. The energy around the platform settled. The ship's crew stared in disbelief. Commander Rylan was pale. Dr. Alara was shaking. And yet Eli stood tall, a small human amidst a being of unimaginable power. As the crew prepared to leave the platform, Eli looked once more at the alien Queen. Something unspoken passed between them. A promise, a challenge, a connection beyond words. That night, as the Lumina hovered above the planet, Eli lay in his small cabin, staring at the stars through the viewport. His mind raced with possibilities. Tomorrow he would face trials. Tomorrow he would walk a path no human had walked before. And yet for the first time he felt certain of one thing. Courage was not about size, strength, or age. It was about heart, curiosity, and the willingness to step forward when others could not. And Eli was ready. The next morning, the sky over the shimmering throne glowed like liquid fire. Colors flowed across the horizon as if the air itself was alive. Eli stood on the same platform where he had met the alien Queen the day before. His heart was steady, though his hands trembled slightly. He wasn't afraid, only excited. He had dreamed of this moment since childhood, meeting an alien ruler, standing before someone powerful and mysterious. But now that it was real, he knew it was not about dreams or stories. It was about something far greater. Understanding. The ship's crew stood far behind, afraid to come closer. Commander Rylan had tried to stop Eli again that morning, but she could see the determination in his eyes. There was no changing his mind. He's just a boy, one of the engineers whispered. Commander Rylan replied softly, He's a human, and sometimes that makes all the difference. The first trial. Wisdom. The alien queen appeared once more. She rose from the shimmering mist like a vision, her body glowing with a radiant light that reflected 1,000 colors. The ground pulsed gently as if greeting her. "You have chosen to face the trials, human child," her telepathic voice echoed, calm yet powerful. "The first is the trial of wisdom. Many strong warriors have fallen in this one. Let us see what you can do." In an instant, the world around Eli changed. The platform vanished, replaced by a vast hall made of shining crystal. Floating symbols glowed in the air, forming strange shapes and patterns. Dozens of mirrors appeared, each reflecting not Eli's body, but different versions of him. Older, younger, scared, confident. The queen's voice filled the hall. "To pass, you must find the truth. But beware, for every lie you accept will trap you deeper in illusion." Eli took a slow breath. The hall looked endless. He stepped forward, examining the floating symbols. Some resembled mathematical patterns. Others looked like stars connected by invisible threads. "What is truth?" he whispered to himself. One of the mirrors spoke, showing his reflection as a grown man in a shiny uniform. "Truth is power," the reflection said. "Those who control others are the wisest." Eli frowned. He knew that wasn't right. No, that's not wisdom. That's control. The mirror cracked and vanished. Another mirror appeared, showing him as a child crying alone in a dark room. "Truth is safety," the reflection said softly. "Hide from what you don't understand." Eli shook his head. "That's fear, not truth." One by one, he faced illusions that tested his understanding: greed, fear, pride, and doubt. Each time he spoke from his heart, refusing to be fooled by what looked easy or comfortable. At last, the final mirror appeared. This one showed the alien queen herself, standing tall and majestic. "Truth," she said in a deep voice, "is knowledge. And knowledge must be taken, not given. Take what you can, human boy." Eli hesitated. "But real knowledge isn't something you steal," he said slowly. "It's something you share. The truth belongs to everyone." The hall filled with bright light. The mirrors shattered and the illusions melted away. The queen's voice returned softer now. "You speak wisely for one so young. You have passed the first trial." The second trial. Bravery. The world shifted again. This time, Eli found himself standing on a narrow bridge made of light, suspended over an endless void. Stars glittered below, spinning slowly like a giant galaxy beneath his feet. "The trial of bravery," the queen announced. "Cross this bridge, but remember, fear will make it vanish." Eli took one careful step. The bridge shimmered under his foot, solid yet transparent. He took another step, then another. The air grew colder and strange whispers filled his ears. "You don't belong here," one voice hissed. "Turn back," said another. "You are just a child." Eli clenched his fists. The whispers were loud, filling his mind with doubt. He tried to focus on breathing, one step at a time. Halfway across the bridge, a massive shadow appeared ahead. A creature, dark and winged, formed out of smoke. It roared, shaking the stars. Its eyes glowed red and its claws reached out to strike. Eli's instinct screamed to run, but he remembered what he had told the queen the day before. Fear can stop people from seeing truth. So instead of running, he stood still. He looked at the creature directly. "You're not real," he said. "You're just what I'm afraid of." The creature paused, growled, and then dissolved into mist. The whispers faded, replaced by silence. When Eli finally stepped off the bridge, the queen appeared again, her glowing eyes watching him closely. "Fear bowed to you," she said. "Few can stand when shadows scream. You have passed the second trial, the third trial." Understanding, the queen raised one crystal-like hand. The world changed once more, this time into a vast garden filled with glowing plants and flowing rivers of light. Strange creatures moved silently between the trees, some small and insect-like, others large and majestic. This is the trial of understanding, she said. Many think they can learn by talking, but to truly understand, one must listen. Eli looked around. What must I do? Find the heart of this world, the queen replied. Listen to what it asks of you. Then she vanished. Eli began walking through the glowing garden. Each step made the ground hum softly, like a heartbeat. The creatures he passed watched him with curious eyes but did not speak. After some time, he came to a small pool of shining water. It reflected not the sky, but memories, his home on Earth, his family, his friends, his journey here. He realized the pool was showing him what he missed most. A gentle voice rose from the water. Why did you come here, human boy? Eli smiled softly. To learn. To show that humans can be brave and kind, not just curious or fearful. The water shimmered. And what will you do if you fail? Eli thought for a moment. Then I'll try again. Failing isn't the end, it's a lesson. The garden glowed brighter. The creatures bowed their heads slightly. The rivers of light began to flow toward him, surrounding him in warmth. The queen's voice returned. You have listened. You have understood. You see beyond yourself. You have passed the final trial. A new understanding. When the light faded, Eli found himself standing once again before the queen on the same platform as before. But something had changed. The air felt lighter. The energy that had once felt threatening now felt calm. The queen looked down at him, her 6 eyes glowing softly. You have faced what even the strongest warriors could not. You have shown that humans possess something rare among the stars, the courage to seek understanding without conquest. Eli smiled. I just wanted to know you, not as an enemy, but as a friend. The queen's expression softened, a rare thing for a ruler of her kind. Friend, she repeated slowly, as if testing the word. It has been long since anyone used that word for me. She turned toward the sky where the human ship still hovered. Your people feared me because they did not understand me. They came with weapons, not words. But you came with questions. Eli nodded. Sometimes questions are stronger than weapons. The queen's voice echoed like a gentle storm. You speak like one far older than your years, he shrugged. Maybe. But I think humans are like that sometimes. We make mistakes, but we keep trying to understand. The queen's eyes glowed brighter. Then let there be peace between our worlds. Tell your people that the shimmering throne will no longer be closed to humans. From now on, those who come with open hearts may enter. Eli's eyes widened. You mean, you'll let us visit? Yes, she said. But only those who seek knowledge, not power. Eli bowed his head respectfully. I promise. I'll tell them. The queen's gift. Before he left, the queen raised her hand. A small crystal sphere appeared, floating before Eli. It pulsed with soft blue light. This, she said, is a memory stone. It holds what you have seen and learned. When your people look into it, they will understand a part of what you felt here. Guard it well. Eli took the sphere carefully. Thank you. I'll protect it. The queen studied him for a long moment. You remind me of something my kind lost long ago, she said quietly. Hope. Then, without another word, she turned and vanished into light. Return to the ship. When Eli returned to the starship Lumina, the crew rushed to meet him. Commander Rylan looked stunned. You're alive, she said in disbelief. How did you convince her to let us go? Eli held up the glowing sphere. I didn't convince her. I just listened. Dr. Alara stared at him. And she gave you that? Eli nodded. It's a gift. She said it holds understanding. Maybe if people see it, they'll stop being afraid. Commander Rylan smiled slowly. You did what no one else dared. You approached the alien queen, and you made peace. Eli looked out the window toward the glowing planet below. She isn't a monster. She's just different. And maybe she was lonely. The commander placed a hand on his shoulder. You did well, Eli. You've given humanity a new future. Epilogue. The Legend of the Human Boy. Months later, stories of Eli's meetings spread across the galaxy. Alien civilization spoke of the human child of light, who walked unarmed before the alien queen and returned with peace instead of war. The queen kept her promise. The shimmering throne opened its gates to scientists, explorers, and diplomats. No longer was it a place of fear. It became a symbol of unity. And on Earth, Eli's story became legend. People said he had reminded the universe of something simple yet powerful. That courage was not the absence of fear, but the strength to face it with an open heart. Because he knew something that few ever understood. Sometimes the smallest voice in the universe,